Hi guys, and welcome back to Fat Pack Magic, where we've got some awesome vintage cube gameplay here for you today. And let me tell you something guys, today I am hungry. You know what I'm hungry for? Thai food, specifically yellow curry. But I'm also hungry to see how this match ends up, because on the right we've got Victor running an Is It Splinter Twin deck, and on the left we've got John with a Golgari combo with Channel Emrakul and Spike. So Victor wins the dice roll, and he's on the play, drops an island, and passes back to John, who plays only a forest. Victor plays an island and drops a signet, which is going to get him one red into his Kiki twin. And John is playing very slow, very methodically, and he's going to abrupt decay the signet, saying, "No ramp for you, that's my job." Now, Victor is just happy to play out an island and build up his mana base and play at the end of John's turn for the most part. And John has to be on defense. He's seen what Victor's deck can do, and he does not want to be caught with his dick in his hand. So John just plays a swamp, passes the turn back, and Victor starts off his turn with a Faithless Looting. Let's see what he goes to discard. Probably won't be one of his twin pieces. So he chucks a Char and deciding on what else. Goes for Electrolyze. Plays a Reflecting Pool, and looks like he's going to keep his mana up for the next turn rather than flashing back the Faithless Looting. And John, he's finally going to make a play. Turn 5, Thragtusk, here we go. But Victor says that's fine, and he's going to untap his island and go for an Arcane Denial on the Thragtusk, but he's got Pestermite out. He draws off the Arcane Denial, plays the mountain, and there's Kiki Jiki. And wow, game 1, less than 3 minutes, just boom, Pestermite Kiki right on time. Man, and wow, John just wasn't able to get out any kind of game plan. Maybe he was a little bit too early with that Abrupt Decay, using it on the Signet rather than going for the Pestermite. But also tapping out for the Thragtusk on turn 5 has to... Looks like Victor's got a little bit of a shuffling problem, but tapping out for that Thragtusk on turn 5, he needs to get a lot earlier action if he's going to put pressure on Victor's deck. And I don't think Thragtusk is going to be there, because gaining 5 life is nothing when he's got infinite attackers. So John needs to be able to put down some early threats. His deck can do it too. He's got Raphaelos, he's got Channel, he can get there. So the question is John going to be aggressively mulliganing, or is he going to let Victor just build some time? Now, for Victor, his game plan, like we saw in the previous match, he is all in on Twin. That's how he wins. That's how his deck is going to function. Basically, just draw out and get to Twin. So they're drawing out their opening hands. It's game 2, and John has some good removal. He's got some lands going. He's got Garrick, and he says, "I'm going to keep." Starts off with the forest and passes back to Victor. Now, does John have a turn 2 play? No, he plays a swamp and passes back. I don't know here. It's going to be really difficult for John to keep up momentum. But he's going to start with an incubation to look at the top 5. And maybe he can get some early action here. Maybe a Birds of Paradise. Oh, nice. Raphaelos is pretty good. Kind of a bummer that he's not going to be able to cast it this turn, though. That's going to really slow him down. So Victor is catching in on this, plays his land for turn, and now John is going to be able to drop Raphaelos, and next turn just have tons of mana to go for. So he plays a forest, or taps a forest, and he's going with the Hex Drinker, and opts to pass the turn around. He's got a Putrefy in hand, so maybe he's just holding on to it. And the Is a Charm shocks the Hex Drinker. And unfortunately, John is just playing a defensive game when that's just gonna be really hard for him to play out. Because Victor's going to be, he needs to apply pressure. It's already turn 4. Next turn, well, now Victor's in a little bit of a pickle. Because he's going to lightning bolt the Rofellos, and John is going to opt to not bounce the Rofellos to the Caracas. And, I mean, the Caracas is going to be able to hold back the Kiki Jiki, of course. But Victor has multiple outlets. He's got Splinter Twin and Kiki Jiki. And if he drops the twin, John is in the same position as before. But right now he's got Putrefy on hold, ready to fire off at the first twin target he finds. And I guess that's John's game plan. Just hold out until Victor doesn't have any ammunition. So he drops Forest. No. Is he just gonna pass the turn back? He's tapping 3, 4. And here comes Garrick. And Garrick is gonna do exactly what he wants. Except it looks like a Pestermite is gonna land. And going to untap a land, tap it again. And here comes Arcane Denial, that trick again. Which is going to let Victor draw 2 more cards. And he's got Pestermite on the field. Is this the Kiki Jiki again? He's got Preordain. He still needs 1 mana. I mean, well, he can't do the Kiki Jiki because it'll get bounced by Caracas, but if he does draw the Splinter Twin, instead he plays a land, swings at John for 2, bringing him down to 18. Does he have the Kiki and just doesn't want to play it into the Caracas? But John has Channel in hand. And Channel, he's got the Emrakul, but he doesn't have it in hand, so it looks like he's going to go digging for it. With a Sylvan Library. And he's got the Putrefy in hand. Is he just not ready to fire it off? He doesn't see much of a target for it with Kiki not down. And Victor isn't going to play the Splinter Twin, but here's Inferno Titan. And that's going to drop John down to 13. That's a great target for Putrefy. However, John also has Damnation in hand. Is he going to be greedy? He is! He's going to look for a swamp off the top 3. And is it there? Because he's got Damnation to go with it. Oh man, did he not get there? Or is he deciding on whether to draw another card for 4 life? But no, it doesn't look like he got the second swamp, and that's going to be painful. Oh man. Because now he's going to have to spend another turn with the Putrefy to kill off that Inferno Titan, because that Inferno Titan is dangerous. So he needs to hold up at least the Caracas to prevent the Pestermite from going infinite. But now he has to use the Putrefy. He has to get that Inferno Titan out of the way. So Putrefy nukes the Inferno Titan. And now John is at 13 life with Channel in hand. Oh man. Just a little bit greedy. He could have had a lot more different plays if he had Putrefied the turn before. But Pestermite swings in, no chump block from the bird. And Victor passes the turn back, allowing John to look at 3 more cards. Well, an additional card. He didn't draw anything extra. He's not going to draw anything extra. But John has to figure a way back into this game. So he's going to take a look at what Victor's got going on. Is there the Kiki in hand? Does he have to keep the Caracas up? And wow, that is a hand with Fiery Confluence, Chain Lightning, Char, Mana Drain, and I think a Zealous Conscripts. But that Mana Confluence representing 6 damage at John's face. Suddenly, that channel looks a lot less appetizing in his hand. Because if he goes for the Emrakul, paying a lot of life, a Char is going to be at his face. And yes, that is a Zealous Conscripts. So John needs to start getting his thing back together. He's playing a Signet, tapping the Signet for mana. Here comes a Mana Vault. Next turn, he's going to be able to fire off a Damnation if Victor plays the Zealous Conscripts. But still, he's gonna have to he's gonna have to deal with a lot of just in-hand damage. And a Chain Lightning blasting at John's face, taking him down to 6. Suddenly, that Char is looking more and more lethal. Maybe a Thragtusk this turn could... But even still, Victor would be able to steal a Thragtusk with the Zealous Conscripts and swing with it. He's got a Ruinous, and that looks like to be the card he's taking. And maybe... Man, end of turn Char is going to be really lethal. So he starts off with a channel, trying to bait the mana drain. Victor says that's fine. Having black, 1. He's gonna Ruinous Path the Pestermite. Opting not to awaken to try and have a blocker. Hoping that Victor just doesn't try and end the turn with a Char and swing with the Conscripts. But end of turn, Victor trying to decide whether or not he should. John could have a Swords of Plowshares in his hand, in his deck. Victor didn't get much of a chance to see what John was rolling with, because all John played last game was a Thragtusk. So Victor plays Zealous Conscripts, untaps his Mountain, swings for 3, and there's the handshake. Wow! Victor didn't even Izzet Twin that game, instead just burning out John. Man! Wow, and I have to wonder, was John right in playing around Kiki that entire game? Would he have been able to come back by bouncing his Rofellos and just having a much larger mana advantage by being able to tap Rofellos for an extra 3 green every turn? But wow, what a game. And Victor takes the match, takes the tournament, he's winning, and wow, just Izzet Twin for the win. That's awesome. So that's it for this time. The cube needs a minute to recharge, but if you want to see more vintage tournament gameplay, check out our YouTube page. So make sure you like, hit subscribe, do that notification bell thing. You can even check us out on Instagram, and if you feel like kicking me a few bucks, check us out on Patreon. We've got behind the scenes footage, live updates on deck lists, and you can even see some of the snacks that I make for my cube drafters. So until next time, may all your packs be fat.